Hi everyone, my name is Michelle. Welcome back to my channel. If you are new, I am a mom of two boys. The oldest is 3.5 and the youngest is 8 months now. And here on my channel, I have been starting a get out of debt journey, talking all about my debt, my credit cards, and then I have a student loan and a car payment as well. So right now I'm focusing mainly on aggressively paying off my credit card debt. And if you're interested in my debt story, I'll have linked up here a video where I talk all about that. But I am doing monthly budget with me videos and budget reports and debt snowball payoff tracking. So if that's something you're interested in, please subscribe. I do use my actual income with real numbers in all of my budgets and everything. I do want to mention though, I am engaged to my fiance. We live together. He is the father of my children, and we do all of our finances separately. This is just going to be my personal income with my personal debts and the specific bills that I am responsible for. All of the big payments we split in half, like our car and the house. We just cut it down the middle, and I am responsible for making the payment for the mortgage, but he gives me half of it. And he is responsible for making the car payment, but I give him half of it, if that makes sense. And all of the other bills, we just kind of break up, and he's responsible for some and I'm responsible for some. And that's just how we've been doing it for the past like 6 years, and that's what works for us. But personal finance is personal, so everyone does it a little bit differently. This is just how we personally do it. Today we're going to be doing a budget with me for March, which I'm super excited about, because we did file our taxes and I got my federal tax return all ready. So I'm super excited to incorporate that into my budget and get some major debt payoff going this month. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the video. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and start with our income. I'm doing things a little bit differently this month. Usually I'll just do like my budgeted amount, but this time I'm gonna do a separate video for like my budget report. I tried that in January, but I didn't have like a setup like this, so I'm gonna do like my budgeted amount, and then at the end of March I'm gonna go in and do a budget report with all of my actuals to make sure everything added up. Okay, so let's go ahead and start with the income. I always like to start with my starting balance, just because I don't do a completely zero-based budget, because I don't want my account to hit zero because I could get an overdraft fee. So I always try to have something in here. However, I did go a little bit over somehow, because I had to order some checks to pay my HOA, and it ended up making me go negative. Anyway, luckily it didn't charge me a overdraft fee this time. Like I said in my previous videos, like it's super random on when they decide to charge you that. Anyway, so my starting balance for March's budget was negative $15. Next I have check 1, which I actually got today. On this check, I actually did 8 hours of overtime, just because we have like this vaccine clinic to get all of the COVID vaccine out to everyone. It's super busy, so my supervisor is offering anyone who wants to work overtime hours. So I took advantage of that, and I ended up making $13.24 for that check. So that's with 8 hours of overtime. So for check 2, so I don't have any overtime for this paycheck that's coming up, or at least not yet, none planned. So what I'm budgeting for is about $1,100. So that will most likely change because I haven't gotten that check yet. I just got this one today, so that's why I know what this one is, but I haven't gotten this one yet, so I have no idea. But that's about what I would get, so that's what I'm budgeting for. It's probably going to be like $10 to $20 different, but that's what we'll budget for. Next, we have the money that Roger gives me for the mortgage. He gives me $400 a month for the mortgage. As you'll see, our mortgage is about $1,400, so we split it down the middle, and each of us pays $700, and our car payment is $600 a month, so each of us pays $300. So he is responsible for making the payment for the car, and I am responsible for making the payment for the mortgage. So we just make it easy on ourselves, and he keeps my portion of the car payment. So he keeps $300 and then just gives me $400 for the mortgage. So I don't have to like take out $300 and give it to him after he just gives me $700. It's just a lot easier for us this way. So he just gives me $400 for the mortgage. And next, very exciting. So it's now the new year, and I filed my taxes. It's actually the first year I ever filed on TurboTax. So Normally I go to like H&R Block and they charge like $400 or $500 and it's absolutely insane, and I just did not want to do that this year. And a couple of people I know did it with TurboTax, and they say it's so easy, and I've always just been so scared of messing up. But I tried it out and it actually was pretty easy. And so I did that this year, and I got my federal tax return in, and I'm super excited. It's actually more than I've ever gotten, like ever. And I think that's because I only worked 5 months out of the year, and now I have 2 kids to claim. So, and my mortgage I claim. So it's the most I've ever gotten. So that is going to be my federal. I got $10,893, which is absolutely insane, and it'll be so helpful. I'm not budgeting for my state tax return just because I have not received it yet, and I can't guarantee I'm going to get it in time for the month of March. So I'm planning on using my state tax return for April's budget. So we're doing just the federal return here since I already do have that in my account. So the total of all of this combined is going to be $13,702 for my income for the month of March, which is obviously way more than I would normally have. So I'm definitely going to be taking advantage of the extra income and work on my debt snowball because I'm so excited about it. Okay, so next we're going to move into monthly expenses. So my portion of our monthly expenses is the mortgage, which is $13.64 a month, and then I'm responsible for our HOA payment. And if you've seen any of my other budget with me videos, I mentioned that our HOA is normally $60 a month, and they normally in January will send you a coupon book to pay it with. And every single year that we've lived here, the amount has gone up a little bit. And I mentioned that I never received my coupon book, and I've been trying to reach out to them about it, but they finally got back to me. She left me like a voicemail saying that they're not doing the coupon book anymore, but she never said if the amount went up. So I'm still, I guess, planning on $60, which I haven't paid it in January or February. So I'm going to pay $180 for the month of March, which is so bad. I never want to be like 2 months behind like that, but I just wasn't sure what to do. And then when I finally was just like, screw it, I'll just pay the $120 without the coupon book. And then I realized I was out of checks, which is, they for some reason don't have an online portal. That's the only bill I have to pay with like checks. And so I realized I was completely out of checks, so I had to order checks, which again is why I ended up going negative $15 because I had like $2 left in my budget, I think, and it was $17. So that's what happened there. I am going to pay it this month for sure. It's $180 now because it's going to be for the 3 months. Anyway, next we have our water payment, which is always $89. And then we have internet, which I pay $106. And then I'm responsible for filling up the car. So I pay for the gas in the car, and I can fill it up twice a month, and it's about $60 each fill up. So I budget $120 for that. Next we have my bank's monthly maintenance fee, which I absolutely can't stand. I used to have a credit card with them. So at my bank, if you have a credit card with them or a personal loan with them, they waive this fee. So this fee is $15. So they waive the fee if you have a personal loan or a credit card with them. And I did have a credit card with them, but I guess I missed like 2 or 3 payments and they just closed my account. This was a while ago, but then I ended up taking out a personal loan with them, and last May I paid that loan off, and so I've been getting maintenance fees since then, and it's super frustrating. I don't think that a bank should charge you a maintenance fee. However, I have tried to apply for a personal loan and another credit card with them to waive this fee, and every single time I try, I get rejected because I have too much debt. However, my credit score did go up, and I'm going to be paying off I paid off my Target card already, and so I'm thinking that maybe I have a chance. So I already did apply for another credit card with them. We'll see what happens. I'm not planning on using the credit card. It's literally just to waive the fee, which is super frustrating that I have to do that. But if I don't get approved, this time around, I will probably apply again next month because I applied before paying down my Capital One card. So we'll see what happens. Anyway, the next thing on my monthly expenses is going to be my Amazon Prime membership, which I pay about $14 a month. For the total for my monthly expenses is going to be $1,888. So moving on to my monthly debts. So my monthly debts is basically just my credit cards that I'm working on paying off. So the first one is going to be my Target card, which if you've seen any of my other videos, you would know that I paid off my Target card. However, I ended up making a purchase with my card because I get free shipping and like 5% off using my Target Red card. So I did end up using it. I think I did like 2 purchases, but I am paying off the entire balance. So it is $65 is what the balance for that credit card is. So I'm just going to pay that back off, get rid of that card again. And next we have Capital One. And this one I am so excited for because of the federal tax return. I am able to completely pay off my Capital One card. So my balance for this card is $6,717 and I am paying $6,717. I'm so excited to be getting rid of this credit card. This is a huge accomplishment. I'm so proud of myself, even though the tax return is really what helped. It wasn't really me like doing anything, but I'm so excited about that. So lastly, on my monthly debts, I have my Discover credit card. And for this one, I'm planning on paying $2,429. So for this one, I'm just putting whatever is left from my tax return. So that is what I have for that. So my total of monthly debts that I'm paying this month is $9,211, which is insane it's insane to me to be able to make a payment like that. Obviously, this is not like a monthly thing. It's literally just because I got my tax return. I would never be able to pay this much in real life. Anyways, next I'm starting more sinking funds. Usually I just do like my groceries and spending money, and that's usually all I really do. However, this month I am starting to do a couple more sinking funds just because I want to be aggressively paying off my debt, and I don't want to come into a situation that I know are coming up where I have to take all of this money, if that makes any kind of sense. So, and potentially end up needing to use my credit card. So the first one I'm going to keep is going to be my grocery / household. And I've been putting about $200 into this, but it hasn't been enough. So because I got the tax return and I have a little bit of extra money, I'm going to be putting in $400. I don't know if I'm going to keep putting in $400 or if I'm going to do $300. But for the month of March, I am going to do $400. Spending money, I'm also going to be putting more than I normally would, and that's going to be $100 just because I feel like if I don't give myself any spending money, I'm going to have like impulsive purchases and end up spending stuff I don't have or take it from something that I need it for. So I am going to give myself $100, and hopefully I don't spend it all so I can like keep saving up to have money. And the next thing doesn't really need to be in a sinking fund because I'm not going to be saving for it every single month. This is just a kind of an expense that comes up at the end of the year, and we tend to wait till we get our tax return to be able to pay it because we have solar panels on our house. So we have a PG&E True Up, which honestly is ridiculously expensive, and I don't know if it's like this for a lot of people or maybe everyone or maybe it's just us, but it is always so expensive. It's like $3,600 for us. So that's basically all the electricity that we use that our solar panels did not like take care of. And I think it's because when we moved into this house, it was literally when we bought the solar panels, it was literally just me, Roger, and Liam was a baby. And since then, we've had his parents and his nephew and his brother move in. And they were here up until July or August of this year. And so like half the year, if not more than half the year, they were here. And obviously like they're using a ton of electricity. His nephew is a gamer and he literally is gaming all day long. His brother was on his game all day long. Roger's on his game all day long. So that's like 3 computers running like all freaking day. Plus his mom is not working, and so she has the TV running all the time, and it's just like so much electricity running all the time. And when we have the solar panels, they like test how much power you're using, and obviously that was like not what we had going on at the time. So it was like $3,600. So me and Roger are splitting that in half. So I gave him $1,800 for that. But that's not going to be, I mean, I could make it a sinking fund just so like I can prepare for it, but I feel like with a tax return, like we just take it out of that. Anyway, the next thing I'm going to be saving for, I'm going to try to be doing a sinking fund for every month until is my kids' birthdays. So Gray is turning 1 in June and Liam is turning 4 in July. So I'm going to be putting, I think I want to save like $200 for each kid. For just like a simple party, like decorations, food, well not food, but decorations, like presents and just like stuff like a cake for their birthdays. Hopefully COVID will be pretty much over by then, but we'll still probably just do something really simple at the house. So it shouldn't, I'm hoping $200 will be enough for each of them to spend on. But I'm putting like a majority of the money in now. So boy's birthday. So I'm going to be putting like a good chunk of it in here now, which I'm going to be putting $200. And so now I just have to put $100 in for Gray by June and $100 in for Liam by July. And I'm going to be just like breaking that up within the next 3 to 4 months. But I'm putting the big chunk in now so I don't have to do like bigger payments later on, if that makes any kind of sense. I don't know. That's just how I'm doing it. But the next thing I have that I'm doing a sinking fund for is Christmas. So again, I'm putting a bigger chunk in now when I have some money, and then that way I can put smaller chunks in later. So I'm gonna start a Christmas fund for, I'm gonna put $100 in this Christmas fund for right now, and I think I'll do maybe like $50 ish. I'm not really sure yet for like the rest of the months until Christmas. And I only feel comfortable doing this kind of stuff right now because of my Capital One card. Otherwise, I would definitely not be putting extra money away for things like this, even though like I should. But I don't make a lot of money, and so I want to put as much money as possible into my credit card debt, if that makes sense. But anyways, I just thought that this would be helpful for me in the long run. So I'm doing it this way for now. I might end up changing it, but for now, this is what I'm doing. So the total for this is going to be $2,600. If you have my total income for the month of March and you subtract my monthly expenses, my monthly debts, and my sinking funds, the money I have left over is $3. And I know most people will like to have it be $0. However, I do not like my checking account to ever hit $0 because they do charge a $36 overdraft fee, and I don't want to risk that. So I always have like up to $5 left over. Alrighty, so that is everything for my budget for March. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps out my channel. And if you're not subscribed already, please subscribe. I am doing monthly budget with me videos, monthly budget reports, and debt snowball trackers every single month. And I am using my real numbers. I also post motherhood related videos, and a new video goes live every single Saturday. So please subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.